you are ready for a reinvention reset? Let's think about that for a minute. How are you feeling about yourself? How are you feeling about your life? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Are you fulfilled in what you're doing and how you're living? Are your relationships supportive? Are your significant others helping you with your goals and your dreams? Are your friend groups helping you, supporting you in what you're passionate about? Let's think about that for a minute. I really would like to know how you're feeling. So I see right now nobody's on the live, and that's okay. Because this has been a lot to put together. And I just want you to, whenever you come on, if you have any comments, um, please feel free to say if you're ready for reinvention reset, or thinking about it, or you know, maybe you haven't thought about it at all, but you're feeling stuck in your life. So I know that I wasn't feeling that I was supported. But before I get into that part, I want to tell you about this dream I had about 20 years ago. And I saw myself walking and talking around this big stage in front of hundreds or even thousands of people. And, I thought that was absurd because I'm an introvert and I don't speak in front of a lot of folks. It just makes me so nervous. So there's that one. Um, and I don't know if I will ever get to that point, but perhaps God has been nudging me along, having me do things out of my comfort zone um, for the past few years. So, hey, I'm here with a YouTube channel. Never thought I'd do that. I'm here live. I definitely didn't think I would be doing that, but um, I am. Here I am. So I want to tell you about this vision I had. I went to a seminar. It was a Christian faith-based seminar, and the speaker started talking, and she said she wanted us to take a few deep breaths. We were going to, I guess, getting ready to do a little meditation. So she was talking, and I could hear her in the background, but I don't know what she was saying because by that time, God had me off on an island. And I was inside of this hut, and it was filled with TV screens and an office set up. And I stepped out barefoot into the sand. And I looked over, well, I looked right in front of me actually, and there was the ocean, this beautiful blue ocean. And I said, like I guess a typical, I don't know, crazy black woman, where's my garden? Because I love gardening. And I looked to the left of me, and there was a little patch of garden just for me. And then I said, well, where is my house? And I turned around, and there was this beautiful 2-story brick house. There was green, luscious grass, and a fountain. I've always wanted a fountain in my yard. So then I wondered, well, where's my husband at the time? And then I started thinking, well, he must be at the beach hut, preparing dinner for the locals and for the tourists, and then getting himself ready to for a jam session because he's a musician. And I thought, okay, well, after I finish with my online clients, I'll go on down and help him. So I figured out all this scenario in a few minutes, and it was as if I was truly there. And the lady, the speaker came and she said, okay, it's time to come back. And as soon as she said that, I started to cry. I just, it was just so real. And I just knew God had everything to do with this vision that I had. And over the years, oh, I forgot to say that this vision that I had happened in 2017. And over the years, I have had reenacted this vision with all of the feelings and the emotions because that's what it takes to manifest what you want in your life. So I've done that many times before. And I know in my heart that that will be my reality one day. And I'm seeing it happening really soon. Um, let's see. So, oh yeah, when I went to this seminar, um, it was basically about adversity, overcoming adversity, having self love for yourself, and winning with God. And I certainly have had that happen to me on my journey from moving from Michigan to North Carolina. Um, and it's a beautiful thing. I know I used to say, F the journey. Just get me to the island. Just get me to the island. But in this process, this reinvention reset, I've come to appreciate and enjoy the journey. I never thought I would say that, but it's true. Um, let's see, just trying to catch up. I got a little faster than I thought I was on this. So, in the past 10 years, I have gone to many seminars, workshops, online courses in learning how to start a business, how to change my mindset, how to heal my past. And I know that all of these things have helped me to get to where I am now. Now, the first thing I did when I knew it was time for a reset was to reflect on my life, the good and the not so good. And many times I felt stuck, and I'm like, why am I feeling so stuck? I'm praying, I'm, getting my body healthy, a good person, I love to help people. I believe that I'm doing all the right things. Why do I feel stuck? And I just realized that was doing all the things, but probably not at the deepest level. When it comes to healing and bettering yourself and your life is like peeling an onion. You peel off the first layer, and from peeling the first layer, you probably don't feel too much different. But you go through that second layer, that third layer, that fourth layer, and things start to unfold and things become clearer as they unfold. If you pay attention to the breadcrumbs that God is leaving you, right? And that's why I had referred to that dream that happened about 20 years ago, and the vision, that very powerful vision that I had in 2017, I think it was, and all the things that are unfolding before me now. You have to pay attention to the breadcrumbs that God is putting in your path. So, and also this journey of forgiving and really uncovering who I really was, um, I found out that the way I was doing wasn't working. Um, I'm 64 now, and it's been a lot of years, and I realized that I was not happy. I was not fulfilled, and that I needed to make this change. So where did I go to? To the source. I asked God to please help me. Please help me. And if you help me, I will do whatever you asked of me. So when I was nudged to start this YouTube channel. Oh my goodness. And to do a live, the angst, the the jitters, the upset stomach, everything goes all the way up to pushing that live button. And then I come on it and I do the best. Yeah. And so I asked God, like I said, to help me. And if you help me, I'll do whatever you asked. I will walk by faith and not by sight. And that is such a scary thing, such a scary thing. But I'm doing it day by day, step by step anyway. Fear and no fear, I'm doing it, right? So my first actual walk by faith happened when my family takes a family trip every year, usually around my mom's birthday. And this particular year, was about 3 years ago, I think it was 2022, we agreed upon going to Playa del Carmen. And that is about a mile away from Cancun, Mexico. And I guess, I'm the eldest of the siblings. So that was my suggestion to go to Playa because I was interested in learning more about Playa because I wanted to retire there. They have a big retirement and expat community there. And so we were all supposed to meet up at this all inclusive in Playa del Carmen on a Wednesday in May 2024. And I wanted to go there before my family got there. So, like I said, I could check out Playa and see if I wanted to retire there. So, I got there 2 days early. I planned my flight, my Airbnb, everything, this whole solo trip by myself. And I had never done anything like that before. So it was scary and it was exciting to do this. So, yes, I did that. So I stayed in Playa, like I said, by myself for 2 days before my family got there. When I got off the plane, everybody was speaking Spanish, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I think I forgot something. I forgot to brush up on the little Spanish I knew so I could navigate getting from here to there, right? So the first place I needed to get to was my hotel. So I looked across the street from the airport, and there was a bank. So I went into the bank and I was looking for somebody who could help me. And I uh, tried speaking to the bank teller, and she said she didn't speak English. I was like, oh my goodness. So I looked around and I found a lady, and she had a British accent. And I asked her if she knew where my hotel was. And she said, oh, yeah, it's, a couple of blocks down. And she gave me the exact directions. And, I walked down there, found out that my Airbnb was actually a Hilton hotel. I was so happy. So I get in my room, and it is a beautiful, spacious place. And I kind of, unpacked a little bit. And then, I went exploring. I went to go find myself something to eat. So I spent these 2 days just exploring Playa by myself. I didn't have any problems. Most of the people did not look like me, but it didn't matter. I knew God was with me, and so I just did it. Um, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. So on Wednesday, I got a cab and went to our the all inclusive and met up with my family, and we had a great time. The last day of our trip, um, we went to this place where they had these water holes called cenotes. And it was a very green and lush setting. We walked down this path down to the cenotes and this gorgeous blue water. And so we all jumped in and we were having a great time talking and playing and just hanging out. And so my brothers got this great idea. Hey, let's go and jump off the cliff. And I looked at them. I'm like, yeah, you go ahead. I won't be doing that. And so they went on up the hill to go jump off the cliff. And I saw these two little girls, about 7, 8 years old. And they went and they jumped off that cliff into the cenotes. And I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it too. So I went on up there like an idiot, walked on up the hill to the cliff, and at first I ran up there and got to the edge, and I was like, I'm not ready. I walked back and got back in line for a minute, and then I said, okay, I can do this, right? So I walked back up to the cliff and I jumped in. I jumped in and I went down so deep into that water. I'm like thinking, when am I coming back up, right? And so I came up and with my bright self, I decided to breathe, right? And swallowed the water. Oh my goodness, right? So what did I get? Montezuma's Revenge. Oh my goodness. So that was the next day when it was time to fly out back home. And I was like, okay, what the heck am I going to do? A few hours from now, I have to get on a plane. So fortunately, I had some Imodium AD, and that was a godsend because I tell you, it was close. Um, but we had a wonderful time. Uh, and when I got back home to Michigan, I was telling my husband about going and jumping off into the cenotes, and he said, "Now, do you have any regrets, for doing that?" And I told him, "No, I would do it again in a heartbeat because it was so exhilarating. It just brought me life. Even though I did have Montezuma's revenge, I would do it again in a heartbeat." So, yeah, that was a monumental trip. The next thing, or the next year, I went to California to a prosperity and wealth retreat. And, I really wanted to go to this retreat, but I didn't have a clue how I was going to pay for it. I didn't have a clue on where I would stay or how I would get around. So, of course, I prayed. And I'm like, "God, if you want me to do this, lay it out for me. Make it easy for me." So I talked to one of the coaches of the Prosperity and Abundance Retreat. And I said, "I really would like to go, but, I don't have a lot of money. Um, I don't know if I have the down payment." And she said, "Just let me see what I can do." And she looked up some of their programs, some of the giving programs, financial institutes that were lenient as far as financing is concerned. And so she found me this, or should I say, God hooked me up to this package where I only had to put a small amount down and paid a ridiculously low monthly payment to go on this retreat. This retreat was a 4-day retreat in a mansion on the top of a mountain. It was breathtaking. It was such a wonderful experience. Um, wow, it was truly a miracle trip. I was so blessed to be able to go. And then last year happened. Last year, God was showing me things that was happening in my relationship, at my job, how I was feeling internally. I was having all these aches and pains, not feeling good, uh, low energy. Just, I wasn't doing well at all. And God showed me signs that it was time for me to leave this marriage and leave Michigan. So in August 2024, uh, God just told me it's time to go. And I'm like, okay. I had been getting signs that it was time, but it was like August 2024, it's time to go. And I was like making these excuses. I'm not ready. I don't have any savings, this and that. And so, in making these excuses, I was trying to make like some concessions. Well, maybe I can, find a friend that I can stay with and help her out with their mortgage. Or maybe, at the last resort, maybe I could stay in this women's kind of like a shelter, emergency shelter type situation, and stay there until I figure some things out. And no matter what I tried to do locally in Detroit, nothing worked. Nothing worked. Everything all fell through. So I was like, whew. I called my mother up. I was like, "Hey, Mom, you're my last resort. God is telling me it's time to go, and I need to come and stay with you." Uh, she was not ready. She was not ready for me to come. Well, I got this to do and I got this to take care of and I need to fix this and move some things. And I was like, Mom, God said it's time to go. Time for me to go. So in 2 weeks, I'm going. I'm coming there. So everything fell into place. You know, I was able to rent a big, what was it, Yukon. My daughter had free time to help me move. Everything just fell into place. And I'm like, okay, God, I guess I'm going. Shaking in my boots and all, but I'm going, you know. So I made that move, and it was not easy. You know, I had left my husband of 30 years, and that was no easy feat. But I knew that I had to do it. I also knew that I had stayed too long because of my fears. I stayed there, I think, about 5 years too long. And so that's why God says, time to go right now. Time to go. And so I did. I was obedient because I knew my way in the past hadn't worked. So it was only moving forward with God. And so I did it. So, it was an adjustment period for me and Mom. But, I've been here a year and we're pretty happy with each other. And so it was a blessing. My mom's a blessing, and this whole situation turned out to be a blessing. And what is really something, a blessing, is that, like I said, to be married to somebody for 30 years, God made the separation of my heart and of my soul easier, much easier than I thought it would be. I was surprised. And that's how I knew also that this was God's arrangement because of how easy that part was. And it was definitely, like I said, time for a reinvention, reset. I was definitely ready. So, after being here for a year, I finally starting to feel good in my soul, in my being that this is my new home for however long this stay will be. So, yeah. um, I started this YouTube channel, like I said, from the nudges from God, friends, family saying, you should do it, you should do it. And just uh, my whole um, vision and passion for helping people with their health and wellness, it only made sense. And that YouTube would be the vehicle. So, yeah. And now that I've gotten to this point, I feel that God is preparing me again for another change, for something else major to happen. I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel it in my stomach, in the pit of my stomach, because I'm getting nervous. So, yeah, I know something is coming. Um, I just want to encourage you, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling unhappy, unfulfilled, um, do something. Do something about it. Don't just stay stagnant. Don't just stay stuck and settle in life. Do something about it. Start small. Um, I know that it's a lot of people, a lot of women never go to the movies by themselves or out to dinner by themselves. Start there. plan a solo trip, maybe in the United States and not out of the country where you don't speak the language like me. Um, just take one step, make an improvement. What is it? 1% improvement every day um, towards your goals of reinventing yourself, coming alive, having joy in your life. You know what I mean? Um, Start something new, take a class, learn a new language, like I said, take your first solo trip. I'm planning to learn Spanish and learn how to play the piano. Do something for your health. Get healthy. You know, go to the gym, take a swim class or water aerobics. My mom, she's 83 and she goes to water aerobics 3 times a week. And everybody marvels, that she's there and that she's moving and dancing. They always say, "Ooh, look at her, she's dancing." It's so funny. I've gone to her water aerobics class, and water aerobics is great. I definitely suggest doing water aerobics. It's wonderful. You get to have a good workout and not feel all the aches and pains, right? Yes, so yes, I want you to make some, or suggest to you to make some healthy life changes. I say I'm going to live a very long time, and I'm going to do that without somebody helping me along because I'm going to stay in good health. And that's why my channel says everything health and wellness, because that's very important to me. I decided that years ago in my 20s that I was going to be healthy and that I was going to live a long life being healthy, right? So I do want to know if you are ready to, to do a reinvention reset, ready to make some small or major changes in your life. I invite you to do that, and I hope you will. Um, Next year, well, sorry, not next year, this year in the fall, in November after hurricane season, I am planning a trip to my island. And if all things go well with that trip, I am setting my intentions to move to that island the following year. I want to just say thank you. I appreciate you so much. And the few folks I have on here right now, hi. So glad you jumped in. Um, I appreciate this platform and to have you all come and listen to me. I really do. I am so grateful for this opportunity. And so please leave your comments for me, leave your suggestions for me, leave any topics that you are interested in me talking about. Leave them. Oh, sorry about that, y'all. I made a mistake. Okay. Um, Leave them in the comment section in the community chat. I am eager to see what you have to say. So thank you again. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, peace and love. Thank you. Bye.